Riley, have you guys had a chance to review the Venezuela game yet as a group? Have the coaches talked you through it?
No, not yet. That's something I'm sure that will happen either in the coming days or across the period in which we next meet up in March, and also in March, I'd say.
Okay, that can count as the first question then. Just what with a little bit more time to digest it, what are you looking back on that in terms of what went wrong with the team, particularly from your vantage point on the bench in the first half?
Yeah, I think credit to Venezuela. They were a decent team, and they played some good possession-based football. But I don't think we were there in terms of probably our sharpness, our press, winning the first and second balls, and we probably allowed them too much time, too much respect to play with the ball. And then on that, I also think if we scored early with the chances we had, it could have been a different game.
Luke. Okay, we've got Jake.
Hi Riley, hope you're well, mate. Bit of a different question, this one, but I mean, I've been looking back. I mean, every time there seems to be a big moment for the Socceroos in the last couple of years, you seem to be right there. I mean, there's that iconic photo of you with your hands on your head after Matt Leckie scores at the World Cup, and I looked at the one from when Aziz scored to send us to the World Cup as well, and you're doing the exact same thing in the back. I mean, have you seen those pictures? I mean, if the boys joked about them, you always just seem to be in disbelief.
Yeah, I think that's my default natural reaction when a big moment happens, and I'm lucky enough to have a front row seat to those. Nothing's really been said by the boys, but I've definitely noticed it.
How good. I mean, the other one for you, obviously, is you're back in camp for the first time since those games. I mean, obviously, you've had a bit of a rough trot with injury over the last little while. I mean, can you talk us through sort of how tough that period's been for you? I mean, how frustrating it's been, and sort of the process you've taken to get back into playing for Borough as well as for the Socceroos?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's been toughest mentally over anything. I think the physical aspect of it is you show up every day and you do what's prescribed of you and what the physios tell you to do, and you go out there and do your best. But I think mentally the setbacks are the thing that really took a bit of a toll, and in the end we were able to, through club and country, we were able to find what worked and how we could combat the issues, and I'm fortunate to be here and back and fit, and hopefully I can stay that way.
Anna.
Yeah, hey Riley, hope you're well. Just to go back to in camp now, I know you said you haven't reviewed it yet, but what do you feel like you have to get right heading into this Colombia match, where it is going to be a step up? They're a world number 13. And yeah, any initial messages from the boss in that regard as well?
Yeah, I think it's the kind of the non-negotiables, the work rate, the first and second balls, and the desire to press, to tackle, to run. I think the things that we can control need to be controlled well, and we need to do them well in order to compete and to give ourselves the best opportunity to win. And then I think we've got quality enough to create chances and take chances and keep the ball out the back of our net.
Just one in your club life, you come away to Socceroos and the manager leaves, you've got an interim in place, all sorts of talk about who could take over. I think Steven Gerrard's one of the names in the mix. How's that all been for you, like, especially when you're still trying to re-establish yourself?
I think that's football. It's part and parcel. It's all kind of, it's just noise, right? And I think as a player, I'm getting a little bit older now. I'm 27, and it just kind of, I've seen a few coaches come and go, and it just becomes part of the process and control what I can control.
Tracy.
Thank you. Hi, Riley. My question's a little bit different. My frame's a bit different, but we're thinking about the scrutiny that players are always under, and not just from club and nation, but the public, the media, everything else. And I saw the press release this week from FIFA saying that they'd reported about 20,000 social media, comments that verged on abuse to the various platforms after the Club World Cup. And I was just wondering how you, as a player, put into perspective that pressure from social media. How do you use social media? What does it mean to you? Can you block things? Do you like to take it in? Do you use it as motivation?
Yeah, I think fortunately enough these days, there's tools in which you can have installed onto your Instagram, for instance, that blocks out offensive comments, and it keeps it for the person who posted the comment so they can see it, but no one else can see it. And I think that's important, especially in the position that we are in as athletes. We want to be focused on the game, and I think with maturity and with time and experience, you care less about what everyone else thinks, and you care about, you know, the core group you have. And basically, I say it a lot, but what I can control, and I can't control what someone says about me or the opinion they have on me. So for me, I just dial in on what I can control, what I can do every single day, and everyone's entitled to an opinion.
Yeah, and you know, as I guess we can describe you as a more senior player now, when you look at some of the younger ones, and I imagine, you know, they come off the pitch, they quickly go on social media, they want to see what everyone's saying. Do you ever advise other players on how best to deal with that, or that they should just give it a break for a while and not tune in until they feel like they're mentally ready?
Yeah, absolutely. I think if there's an instance that came up in which I was to see a player look at their phone or look at comments and that, I would encourage them in a nice way that it's probably going to do them more harm than it is good. And there's always going to be someone who has something negative to say. So I could advise them and be somewhat of a role model for them, but at the end of the day, it's up to them, and I'm sure they'll learn in their experiences too.
Steph. Steph from Network 10. Okay, Luke or Sky News. All right, we are free to go back to the floor. Hands up, please, if you have any follow-up questions. Vince.
Yeah, just always easy to put my hand up rather than try and find the hand up button. One day I'll get it right. Riley, it must have been a while since the last time you saw Alvasan Toure. Maybe back Adelaide United days, I don't know. But what do you make of his journey? Probably an unexpected call up to be with the Socceroos, and also just like, you know, you got Mo there and Musa knocking on the door, not too far down the future as well. So it's a pretty special sort of family story there, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's something that we were speaking about yesterday in training. We all had a bit of a laugh about how extraordinary it is, and you know, what that family, what those parents and who they were able to raise as young men and also as footballers. I think it's awesome to reunite with Alassane, who, you're right, I haven't seen since Adelaide, and to see where his journey and what's happened. And I think I can relate similarly to his journey, as I went overseas and came back and reset a little bit. So hopefully he can kick on to you know, whatever his ceiling may be, to get that and above and beyond. And yeah, as I said again, I'm proud to see that for all that family and those brothers, definitely.
And if I could just squeeze in one more, I can't remember if you ever played with Mo, or if you didn't, then maybe he was in the youth team bubbling under him, under you at the time or whatever. But what have you made of the way he's kicked on as well? Because it seems like he's, you know, grown up, put on size, and is really sort of taking that number 9 role, you know, taking to it really well.
Yeah, absolutely. He's definitely grown into himself, grown into his frame and his personality. He's quite a quiet guy off the pitch and really humble, and he just works hard. And I think these are the kinds of people that you want to be around and want to have in this kind of environment, because they're A, great people, but B, have a tremendous quality and you know, great potential.
Anna.
A little bit of a follow-on to that, Riley. In the time that you've been away, it seems like the attack has changed significantly. Nesta's starting, Mo's starting, Connor's playing a lot on the wing. How have you found slotting back into that? And I guess what excites you about that heading into a World Cup year, that very different looking attack?
Yeah, I think we've got some really exciting talent, some explosiveness, some real quality and technical ability, and I think having that competition for places in attack is only going to promote, you know, better performances and more hunger and desire from everyone involved. And everyone wants to put their best foot forward, everyone wants to play well, and somewhat of a pressure that comes with that as an attacker to produce and score goals and play well. So I think competition's great, and that's only going to make us a better team going forward.
Just on your own fitness, obviously you came off the bench. How did you feel like you pulled up? Are you in a position where you can push to start, or is it still sort of easing back in given the run you've had?
Yeah, I think physically I feel the way I feel. It's probably my 4th game back, I think. So naturally I'm going to be a bit stiff and sore here and there, but that won't deter me from putting my hand up to be selected to start or come off the bench or whatever capacity is, and I'll be ready regardless of as and when I'm needed.
Vince.
Thanks, Boomer.
Found the button, mate.
Riley, what do you, personally and also as a team, like, what do you feel like you need to get out of this game against Colombia, who, obviously a step up significantly from Venezuela, and probably the same sort of pressure points, I guess you could say, will be exposed in terms of them being, a really good, technical and physical team.
Yeah, I think we just want to kind of instill the values in what way we want to play. We want to show that we can beat and compete against some of the best nations in the world, especially those of aggressive nature, the South Americans and these kind of things. So I think it'll give us a whole load of confidence going out there and playing the football we want to play, and going out there kind of with it is a friendly, but we don't treat it as a friendly. But that also gives us a bit of an opportunity to be confident and go into the game knowing that whatever the result may be, we can play the football we want to play, put our best foot forward, and come away with hopefully a win.
Tracy?
You say the South Americans are kind of aggressive teams, and I've heard that word applied to Socceroos in the past, and I just wondered if you could describe this current crop and all the talent there is to choose from. What's one word that you would use to describe the Socceroos at the moment?
One word's difficult, but...
Three then.
3 words. Hungry, diverse, and cohesion, I guess. Yeah.
Good. Thanks.
He's had a bit of time to think about it. Just obviously, in terms of possession, Riley, creativity and that chemistry has maybe been a little bit of an issue at times for the team. I guess your thoughts on that, and how you, as a more creative player, want to take on that responsibility to make that happen more often.
Yeah, I think the players we have, we're comfortable being out of possession at the time. We're confident that we can keep the ball at the back of our net and defend as a unit and as a block, and if we get our press right and retain the ball and win the ball back, and then to have the confidence to keep the ball. But I think also, if I speak about the Venezuela game, we had 3 forward debutants, but 3 starting debutants, if I'm correct, and obviously that plays a factor. But these guys are ready for the occasion, and they were ready to play, and I think the performances they showed in that game were tremendous, and I think going forwards, these relationships are only going to grow, and I think, especially leading into the World Cup and the game against Colombia, we're going to have to show that we can keep the ball and play possession, and I think that comes with time and with playing together and experience. So.